and welcome to Perspective. We begin, of course, by Pakistan's diplomatic front. King Jordan Abdullah II and his visit is in progress currently. We'll be talking about what this means for Pakistan-Jordan ties in terms of economy, in terms of cultural affairs, and of course politically, when Pakistan strengthens its regional partnerships and broadens its strategic outreach. A little later on, we'll also be talking about Bihar elections and of course the win at this time as far as Modi is concerned, and the victory, what it means for him after he lost his national majority, and what it means for India at this time when we talk about extremism, when we talk about the Hindutva doctrine that seems to reign supreme in India at this time. All of that today on Perspective. I have with me Ali Sarwar Naqvi, who is a former ambassador. We also have with us Dr.Wadah, kilany. And before going to them, we'll be going to Shabir Ahmed Bagra, our reporter, on what's actually happening with regard to the visit at this time. Shabir, can you hear me? Shabir, what is happening currently with respect to King Abdullah II's visit that is in progress in Islamabad currently? How is it going, and what are the expectations?
As you rightly pointed out, that this very important visit of King Abdullah is underway, and earlier he arrived at Noor Khan Air Base, where he was received by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and President Asif Ali Zardari. Right now, a bilateral meeting between Pakistan and Jordan under the delegations headed by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and King Abdullah II, they are underway. And after this bilateral dialogue between the two countries, there would be a one-on-one meeting between the Prime Minister and also the King of Jordan, and it is also expected that there would be signing of very important MOUs for enhancing bilateral relations between the two countries. That will also take place today in the Prime Minister of house right now, where the visiting dignitary is present. Apart from this, there would be tomorrow there would be a meeting between Prime Minister President Asif Ali Zardari and King of Jordan that will take place, and Pakistan also will give highest civilian award to King Abdullah II at the presidency tomorrow. Along with this, there would be other very important meetings between the two countries. As you know, Pakistan and Jordan are both those countries who are very much involved in the Gaza peace ceasefire and Gaza peace process led by President Trump. Pakistan and Jordan both are part of those 8 countries who participated right from UNGA, then Sharm el-Sheikh and all other forums. They participated in this peace process as well. So the discussion, along with bilateral discussion, the discussions on the recent Middle East situation and how this ceasefire can be made effective, and this peace process can be made effective, also reconstruction of Gaza, these things will also be discussed during the meeting between the Prime Minister and King of Jordan, which is right now underway.
Thank you so much, Shabir. Thank you for letting us know what's actually happening with respect to King Abdullah II and his visit that is currently in progress. I'm going to go to our guests, Ali Sarwar Naqvi, who's a former ambassador, and Dr. Wadah, kilany, who is Special Advisor on Trade, Jordan. Ali Sarwar Naqvi Sahab, as far as this visit is concerned, first of all, how do you see, of course, economic ties, bilateral ties between Pakistan and Jordan? How do you see this on the diplomatic front when Pakistan, of course, this is one of the visits that we've seen even in the last couple of months with regard to those that have visited Islamabad. How do you look at that? How do you look at Pakistan doubling its efforts on the diplomatic front at this time?
Yes. In the first place, Pakistan and Jordan have long-standing close bilateral relations because from the very beginning, in the time of King Hussein, the father of King Abdullah II, Pakistan had developed very close personal relationship between our two leaderships, as well as bilateral cooperation, economic cooperation, even military cooperation in the sense that we have trained many Jordanian officers in our training institutions like the National Defense University, the Command and Staff College, Quetta, and many other specialized institutions of the army. Uh, I served as ambassador of Pakistan to Jordan in the time of King Hussein. And I enjoyed a very special relationship in the court where the Pakistan ambassador was always welcome. Now, this is, I think, a revival of that close relations because this is the first time in 21 years that the Jordanian monarch has visited Pakistan. And it is a epoch-making visit because this will again resuscitate our close relations both in the economic field and in the political field. In the economic field, we will have MOUs signed between our two countries. And on the political front, we are very closely working with the other Muslim countries in regard to resolving the problem of Gaza and alleviating the sufferings of the Palestinian people, which is unprecedented in history. The atrocities of Israel against Palestine are without parallel in any such kind of crisis anywhere in the world. So I think this is a very important visit for all these reasons, and Pakistan is going to consult and coordinate with the Jordanian king and his delegation on all these matters, both bilateral and international.
Let me come back to you. Dr. Wadah, to you, in terms of, we talk about trade, we talk about economic relationship. What is currently the extent of trade and our economic, in terms of economy, what is our relationship with Jordan currently, and how do you see it extending pursuant to this visit?
Thank you for having me on Pakistan TV. It's a great honor to join you today to speak about the historical 2 days visit of His Majesty King Abdullah II to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. First of all, His Majesty visit was intended to elevate and strengthen the strategic and bilateral ties between our two brotherly nations across the political and economy, defense and cultural field. This visit reflects the deep respect, mutual trust, and long-standing friendship between Jordan and Pakistan. His Majesty's presence in Islamabad have paved the way for a new chapter, one that enhances economy, cooperation, cultural exchange, and institutional coordination. This visit laid the highest leadership level and now becomes our responsibility as government, embassies, and private sector to build in this momentum and turn this vision into real practice achievement. Currently, there is a lot of room to enhance the trade between both countries, but there is certain obstacles we have to overcome first. One of the obstacles is we have to waive visa between both countries to enhance trade between both countries. The second thing is we have to have direct flight, which we had 18 years ago. We had direct flight. Actually, we had 4 flights a week between Karachi and Amman. So we need to have a direct flight in order to enhance. Now, in the tourism part and cooperation, there is a huge opportunities to do that. During my recent participation in Pakistan Travel and Tourism Symposium 2024, where I had the honor of being recognized at the closing ceremony, I emphasized that Pakistan has tremendous and potential as world-class tourism destination. Pakistan is one of the richest lands in religion, historic nature, and cultural diversity. It is the land of many religions, as Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, and many other religions. And also Jordan, we have sites. We have one of the 7 wonders of the world, Petra. We have the Dead Sea, the lowest point on the earth. We have Jarash, one of the best reserved Roman cities in the world. So there is a lot of room to do tourism exchange. and the economy and cooperation trade to strengthen relation. We have our role now that His Majesty the King have. This is the highest level that we could it could happen, could ever happen. So we have an opportunity today to enhance trade between both countries.
Let me come back to you on that. Let me include Ali Sarwar Naqvi and then I'll come back to you. Mr. Naqvi, you heard what Dr. Wadah is saying. He's saying that, there's a lot of opportunity, of course, in tourism also. There's a lot of, in terms of economy, in terms of course, trade and having direct flight in that regard. Do you see this going forward? Of course, he's saying that, at the highest level, this interaction is taking place. So it's probably going to set the tone for how the future of this relationship is built upon. And of course, there's a strong foundation here. Do you think that that things are going to probably move faster following it with regard to where and how we liaise with Jordan?
Not only should things be moving faster, Mahrukh, I think the things must move faster. There is such a strong case for bilateral cooperation and economic coordination between Pakistan and Jordan that we are missing this opportunity, and if we don't avail of it. I think the visit of His Majesty King Abdullah to Pakistan is a very opportune moment to restart bilateral cooperation in many fields, particularly in the economic field. We can provide Jordan many semi-manufactured goods that we produce. Jordan can provide us commodities like phosphates, which are very important for our fertilizer industry. And then there is cooperation in tourism, which we must fully explore. Jordan is a very rich country in terms of archaeological sites, archaeological remains and ruins. And there is this historic city of Jerash, which is Greek and later Roman city, which was one of the key points of travel between Rome and the Middle East. And there is the Dead Sea, there is Petra, and there are so many other historic sites which I saw myself when I served in Jordan. And Jordan can also have tourists come to Pakistan. We have so much to offer, which was just mentioned by Dr. Wadah. So
let me go to Dr. Wadah. There's also, when we look at Turkey, Jordan, Qatar, this is also, signaling a kind of, a unified front when we look at Pakistan's recent diplomatic efforts with all these countries. Of course, having said that, there is a strong foundation in, for all these countries in our relationship with all of them. But also it's signaling, a fortifying alliance in terms of course, issues like Palestine, issues that, we converge on together as nations. Isn't that correct?
Well, for the Arab world, let me say, even the Muslim world, we consider Pakistan as our big brother. It's a nuclear country. It's a number of population in Pakistan. So it's definitely every Muslim and every Arab consider Pakistan is our big brother. All the potential we have, the political stance that remarkable stance that Pakistan did. As far as let me say something, as I'm the main coordinator for Al Khidmat Foundation in Jordan, and from October 8, Pakistan have extended its arm to Gaza. We've donated millions of dollars for our brothers in Gaza, 750 scholarships to study medicine in Pakistan. We equipments for field hospitals, ambulances, airdrops. We did we over 20,000 tons of food items, even in Jordan. just recently, I've received 100 tons of aids to Palestinian camps in Jordan. So this is what we expect from our big brother, Pakistan, and they've been up to their reputation actually with all Arab countries. But in Jordan in particular, there is a historical relationship between Pakistan and Jordan. I'd just like to emphasize on what His Excellency Mr. Ali mentioned. We have that now the opportunity with His Majesty the King visit. We have a big opportunity. Let's cash on this opportunity. Let's work, all of us, in all government, private sectors, even in education. As His Excellency Mr. Ali mentioned, we have many Jordanian officers here now with high ranks. They all graduated from military universities in Jordan. We have an association here, Pakistani Graduate Association, Jordanian Pakistani Graduate Association. I visited myself many tremendous universities in Pakistan, like Foundation University, New Tech University, Greenwich University. We worked in student programs. There is so many things that we could do together in economy side, in political side, and in cultural side. We share the same culture, actually, as Pakistan. With the same.
But how do you see this, as far as Pakistan and Jordan are concerned, in the broader context of Middle East or South Asian context? How do you look at this visit, and how do you look at, of course, the relationship moving forward in that context particularly?
In the context of political, you mean?
In the context of course, Middle Eastern alliances, South Asian alliances, in that context.
Of course, it's a very important visit. This visit, it's so important. Just the visit itself, it's so important. It means a lot for both countries. Pakistan presence here in the Middle East, it needs to have a lot of rooms to enhance their existence here in the Middle East, in Jordan in particular, especially that we have a strong relationship with Pakistan. So I think it's just a great opportunity. It's something. It's historical. I don't know if all sectors could recognize that, but it's very important for both countries. We need Pakistani presence here in stronger in the Middle East, and of course we need to tighten our relationship with Pakistan on all aspects.
Right. Let me go to Ali Sarwar Naqvi. Mr. Naqvi, in terms of Palestine, of course, both countries were part of the discussions for Donald Trump's Gaza's peace plan, along with other Arab Islamic nations. In that context, in our, of course, stance overall, in our unified stance in terms of, the Islamic countries also, how do you see it as that, and moving forward in that sense?
Yes, in regard to Palestine and the Palestinian issue, you see, Pakistan has a very good record of support for the Palestinian people from the very beginning. From 1948 onwards, Pakistan has sponsored many resolutions in the UN General Assembly, and Pakistan has participated in negotiations about Palestine in the United Nations over the years. And Jordan is a country which is directly affected by the Palestinian issue, in the sense that a large percentage of the population of Jordan is of Palestinian origin. And one of the principles of Palestinian nationhood, or the solution towards Palestinian state, is the right of return of the Palestinian people to Palestine. Since most of the Jordanian Palestinians who live in Jordan are from that area, they have a right to return to Palestine. So we have many areas of discussion that are available to us in regard to the Palestinian issue, and we need to raise it with the other Arab and Muslim countries, both Jordan and Pakistan. And for this, this is the most important moment for consultations in regard to Palestine, because there is ceasefire in Gaza, which is very fragile and can end at any point, because Israel is not respecting the terms of the ceasefire. And if that happens, then there would be renewed pressure and renewed Israeli atrocities on the Palestinian people. So, this is the time when Pakistan and Jordan can coordinate with each other regarding how to proceed in regard to the further alleviation of the sufferings of the Palestinian people.
Dr. Wadah, of course, I think Dr. Sarwar Naqvi raises a really important point in the context of Palestine, and how, of course, we can liaise with regard to the future of what we can do as countries to help the Palestinians. Of course, Jordan, as I understand, has been instrumental in helping the Palestinian cause in a lot of ways. That's also correct, right? And of course, there is a future in terms of an alliance of sorts in helping the Palestinians. Of course, where we are at this time with regard to that is very fragile, even as we speak.
Right. Well, let's not underestimate, like I've mentioned earlier, Pakistan political weight. In the Arab world and in internationally worldwide. So with Pakistan, Palestine is stronger. I just put it that way. With the support of Pakistan government, and I have no doubt of the Pakistani people how much support. I've seen that myself. But once Pakistan is strongly with us, with the Palestinians, with the Jordanians, in the Middle East in general, their presence will I think will change many decisions with their strong presence, and they have been, to say the truth. So we just need more political support for the Palestinians from Pakistan. We know they've done a lot, but we also expect more.
In terms of moving forward diplomatically, when we look at countries at this time on the Islamic front, do you see more unity in the future? With, of course, like you said, we share a cultural heritage with Jordan. We also have, there's a lot of commonality when we look at Pakistan and Jordan, but, also other countries at this time on the Islamic front. In the future, how do you see things for both Pakistan and Jordan in the context of more liaison, of more cooperation with Islamic countries?
Well, I guess what happened in Gaza war brought all Muslim people together. It's explored what Gaza people go through. Now everybody in the world knows. So what happened in Gaza, it's actually united the Arab world, united the Muslim world, united people of the world who had a different vision of what was happening in Palestine. Now they know the truth and they've seen the truth. So I think, yes, it did. That war did bring everybody together, united together. And there is nothing more in personal level. And I'm not a politician, but in personal level, I like nothing more than to see Pakistan leading that unity of the Muslim world.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, Dr. Wadah. Ali Sarwar Naqvi Saab, do you agree, of course, with what, it's hard to disagree with what Dr. Wadah is saying in terms of moving forward. But again, when we look at this time, countries like Qatar, Jordan, Turkey, Pakistan, it seems to be, of course, and of course there's, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Pakistan's alliances with regard to the pact overall. Do you think that there is also, a kind of symmetry when we look at the balancing of Pakistan overall and our regional leaps, our relationships overall with the, countries across the board? Dr. Wadah, I think Ali Sarwar Naqvi is not with us, but overall, in terms of this visit and how it sets forth our relationship with Jordan from here on, of course, we hope, like you said, that the direct flights will make a difference, and there were once between Pakistan and Jordan. But in terms of economically, in terms of trade, in terms of this relationship moving forward, in your experience, how do you see this visit in the context of perhaps 6 months moving forward? Do you think tangibles will emerge?
Our Majesty the King, he did his part. Now, and the government of Pakistan. Now it's up to us, like I said, people, governments, private institute, to do our parts. Of course, this visit is so important. It's not going to go for nothing. It's just paved the way. It's opened the door for more economical and cultural exchange. And like I've mentioned to you before, there is so much potential. I'll just, like myself, when I visited in Pakistan, I had the meeting. I'm not talking about only Muslims. There is a 2.5 million Christians, I believe, in Pakistan, and I had the honor of meeting Cardinal Joseph Coates and Bishop Azad Marshall. And we've talked about religious tourism for Christians for Jordan. We wanted Jordan to be part of a hub to go for Umrah and Hajj to Saudi Arabia. Jordan, they could come and visit our religious sites here. It's part of the pilgrimage. It would be education, so many things. I personally, when I came there, and I went from Islamabad to Karachi, and I was met there, warmly welcomed by our Jordanian honorary consul, Mr. Muhammad Yusuf Farouk. He's a Pakistani, and actually his father also was an honorary consul for Jordan. And in one day, we had 18 meetings. So there is a lot of potential. I'm saying in many parts, in tourism, in education, in culture, and in economy, in trade, so many things. And I think this is
we'll be able to, of course, move forward in that regard. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Wadah. Thank you for your very valuable input. Moving on, of course, our second story today is the Bihar elections. We'll be talking about, what this means, of course, for Modi, and what it says about India when we look at Hindutva. Of course, statements that we've had from Modi's BJP, after this success, we've had statements from the BJP saying that not Jungle Raj, good governance is needed. We've also, have had these statements, of course, enunciate what's actually happened as far as India is concerned, what India is choosing, what Modi has chosen for India in terms of course, the Hindutva, or we look at Indian extremism. We're going to be talking about all of this with Shazia Malik, who is with us from Canada. Thank you so much for being with us. Shazia, how do you see this win as far as Modi is concerned, in terms of course, what it means for India? When we saw the setback that we saw Modi suffer earlier on, and then now this win, what does it say, first of all, about Modi's politics and about India as a whole? Let's hear you answer that.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity once again, Mahrukh. Okay, you need to give me some time so that I explain to you, level to level how it all went. I mean, of course, your question, how it goes for Modi, it goes for Modi very, very well, because, definitely they have won the alliance, their alliance, that is the NDA alliance with basically the Nitish Kumar's party, that is JDU. They have won 202 seats, and the majority was 122. The Mahagathbandhan was just reduced to about, 34 seats or so. Now, what happened exactly is very important to understand. You might have heard Rahul Gandhi and Congress constantly talking about the vote theft. And they actually gave the example of Mahadevapura, where the voters were removed completely, where the house numbers were zero, where in a 10 by 10 house, 66 people were living. Definitely this played over here. Just about, sometime back from Bihar, before the Bihar elections, they introduced SIR, that is SIR, that is the Special Intensive Revision, where the lakhs and lakhs of people were removed from the constituencies where they thought that Congress is going to win. Now, according to the Election Commission of India itself, 4 lakh complaints were filed that people's names were removed. According to details of Indian media, 68 lakh voters were removed from this SIR list. 24 lakhs were added in. So you can understand the massive rigging that took place. Never in the history of India any political party has got a 90% strike rate, which was seen over here. This is one part. The second part is that people in Bihar have not really forgotten about the jungle Raj that was in the times of Lalu Prasad Yadav, and RJD's face, and the face of Bihar chief minister from the Mahagathbandhan side was Tejasvi Yadav. Now, Tejasvi Yadav is the son of Lalu Prasad. So people have not forgotten. Also, their chief minister, the chief minister of NDA was Nitish Kumar, and Nitish Kumar definitely has done a decent job. What happened was that this NDA, they fought on MY, that is Mahila and youth. Mahila is women and then youth. What they did just before the election was that they gave 10,000 rupees to over 1 crore women just to buy their vote, and then they connected with youth also, which Tejasvi, being young could not do. Then there is a third thing, and that is the PK factor. Now you must be thinking I'm talking about Amir Khan's movie PK. No, it is Prashant Kishore, the huge big this political strategist who has been ensuring that different political parties, including that of Nitish Kumar's JDU, wins over the years. He entered the politics. So this 3 to 4% vote that got diverted as well. So I don't know how the Indians are taking this, but for the Indians and their so-called democracy, if it is left any, a little bit or whatever, it is very, very bad news, because massive, vote fraud also came in Maharashtra, in Haryana, in Madhya Pradesh. So so not only Congress but other political parties also have been pointing this out. But definitely the Election Commission of India is playing a very bipartisan role over here. And then at the same time, the Godi media also is taking a part in this. So it is very, very,
like you've said, of course, that this is massive rigging. There's also a lot of fraud involved with regard to how this played out. There's also a lot of bribing happening, or we talk about, as when we talk about money being given to women, all of that. But when we look at this as a future elections, for example, in West Bengal, which is what is being said about Modi, how do you look at that? Do you think that there is a link there? Do you think that that's possible? Do you think, this kind of a manipulation, this kind of rigging, this kind of maneuvering will be possible there also?
Now, West Bengal is very, very interesting. I mean, of course, Mr. Modi has now become very, very ambitious after Bihar. And he excuse me. And he says that he is going to repeat the same success after Bihar in West Bengal. But we must understand that in West Bengal, our Didi, Mamta Banerjee, and her TMC, that is Trinamool Congress, is very, very strong. I mean, of course, we understand also another fact that any regional party with which the BJP aligned, those parties after some time just vanished. TMC is very, very much, connected with the people in Bengal, and I don't think so they will let, or Mamta Banerjee would let BJP make inlays over there. And so it's going to be very hard for them.
What about national implications? You think that this success has national implications for the future for Modi?
Yes, I was listening to some of the Indian media, although I don't really believe them, but actually in Bihar, which is one of the poorest states in India, people have been saying that Nitish Kumar has done a decent job. He has given actually protection to women, which was not really seen during what BJP highlighted, the jungle raj of this Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav. So at the national level, one more state has gone towards BJP. However, there is a lot of discontent if we specifically look in the context of Bihar, that the jobs are still very, very scarce. People are still going out of Bihar to get the jobs. So if they do not get those promises done, which they made during the election time, it's going to be bad news for them in the next election and at the national level as well, because a lot of discontent against BJP, especially amongst Muslims, amongst Dalits, amongst the Christians, amongst the lower caste, is really increasing in India. And so I think BJP really needs to work on these issues. If they do not, then I think they definitely will be thrown out unless and until.
But what about, Shazia, what about the Jungle Raj versus good governance narrative, in your opinion? And of course, the broader implications that this has for on the national scene, for for example, India, and of course the way that this is being manipulated, also the way in some instances how they're choosing things for their own country. How do you look at that?
That's what I was just explaining, that in the next election it's going to be very, very hard for them if they keep on doing this, if they keep on annoying the Muslims, the Christians, the Dalits, the lower caste. Then people are definitely going to come out. Even now, a lot of cases are being filed against their this vote theft. So they cannot play from the same playbook all the time and think that they can win. But like I just said, that if, the Election Commission of India is really siding with Modi, but it is bad news. I'm repeating myself. It is bad news for India and, of course, the democracy. So even at the national level, I think some of the senior voices are going to hit that, like Yogendra Yadav and all those political analysts, and they are saying that democracy actually is being killed at the national level, and India is just going deep.
Shazia, when you talk about women, you mentioned particularly how this money was handed out to women to buy their vote. Overall, how do you see the status of women voter in India? Of course, this election, but also in the broader context, and what kind of things are being given, incentives are being offered on the national front. When we look at Modi government and their voter bank overall, with regard to women in particular, how do you see it? How do you perceive it?
Yes, they have played very, very smartly, and this is a very good question, Mahrukh, because women play a very, very critical role in the context of Bihar. For example, specifically during the Jungle Raj, women felt very unsafe. I'm not saying that in the rest of the country they are facing, they are feeling safe, but specifically over here. But wherever BJP has won in elections, women vote has played a huge role because of all this Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao, and even in Maharashtra, women were given 7,500 rupees, where the opposition really made a hue and cry that this is the taxpayers' money that is being given for free. But women definitely played a major role, especially in Bihar. Now they felt quite safe under Nitish Kumar, and because they had seen what was going on there. So in the rest of India also, when women are mobilized, they have been, pitching in the success of BJP. I don't really understand how, but in major cities like Delhi, which is their Rajdhani, women are not really very much safe, but they always hit them. And this time in Bihar, they, like I just said, they worked on two things, that is Mahila and youth. So it paid off. And now they are bringing more and more youth vote, saying that we are going to give you, employment, and we will make your lifestyle better. And India is rising, and all those big slogans. But Mahagathbandhan actually has done a bad job. Had they just, picked up on their vote chori or vote theft narrative that they started very, very strongly, they could win. But Election Commission of India is siding with Mr. Modi. So, what can you say?
When we look at in India at this time, just regionally, when we look at, just this Bihar win, of course, and then in the context of this, the national narrative of what Modi stands for. Of course, other countries, neighboring countries, the region is worried because this is now, of course, a Hindutva country. It's an extremism, a country that is pooing extremism. It is a country that reeks of intolerance even. So moving forward, do you think that there are elements within India, on the national front that are going to be giving voice to this narrative now, as they watch this manipulated Bihar win, in your opinion?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if you have seen this recent interview of Arundhati Roy with Mehdi Hassan in Zateo. That's exactly what she talked about there, that India is now becoming extremely intolerable. And also, if you have seen some of the articles of Rana Ayub in New York Times and in other places, people are speaking about this thing, but then their life is, it becomes hell in India because like I just said, that the whole media has become Godi media. All those people who have been raising voices, which I just mentioned, one of them was Yogendra Yadav, and then Nitish Kumar, they were, of course, shown the door out. I mean, Yogendra Yadav was part of Aam Aadmi Party. He has started his own party. But there are saner voices who are talking about this, that India is becoming extremely intolerant, and they are really suppressing, the saner voices, what you call, when they always said that.
Right, fair enough. Thank you so much, Shazia. Thank you for your very valuable input. Of course, we talked about King II's visit as he visits Islamabad, Pakistan, and we look at, of course, strengthening ties with Jordan economically, diplomatically, and of course on the regional front also. A little later on, we spoke about the Bihar election and how a country like India, where of course manipulated election in Modi's favor, and how it reeks of extremism, Hindutva, and a country intolerant across the border. Thank you so much for joining us today on Perspective.